You hear the term big data thrown around all the time, right? In tech news, at work, it's everywhere. But what does it actually mean? Well, it's way more than just a buzzword. It's a force that's literally reshaping our world. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain, figure out what it is, how it works, and most importantly, why it matters to you. Let's dive in.
To really get our heads around big data, let's just start with a simple question. I want you to think about everything we all do online in just one day. Every single video we stream, every photo we post, every time we ask our maps for directions, all of it. How much digital information do you think that adds up to?
The answer is around 328 quintillion bytes. That's a number so ridiculously massive, it's almost impossible to picture. So here's a way to think about it. If you tried to burn all that data onto Blu-ray discs, you'd end up with a stack that could reach the moon and back twice. And remember, that's the amount of data we're creating every single day. This incredible, unbelievable flood of information is the problem that big data was born to solve.
Okay, so if that's the problem, this unimaginable ocean of information, then what in the world is the solution? Well, that brings us to the whole concept of big data itself. It's not just about the data you see, it's the entire framework for how we even begin to handle it.
So here's the official definition. But the key thing to notice here is that it's not just about the data being large. It's also about it being incredibly fast or complex. Put simply, big data is any pile of information that's just too big, moving too fast, or is too messy and varied for our old-school databases and software to deal with. They just can't. You need completely new tools and technologies to make any sense of it.
Now, to break this down even further, people who work in this field always talk about the 3 V's. These are pretty much the 3 core challenges that define what big data is all about. If you can get a good handle on these 3 ideas, you'll pretty much understand the whole field.
First up is volume. This one's the most obvious, right? It's the sheer scale we were just talking about. I mean, we're dealing with petabytes, exabytes, zettabytes. These are just astronomical amounts of information being collected from social media, from every purchase we make, from our smart devices, from scientific sensors, you name it.
Next, we've got velocity. Now, this is all about the incredible speed that data is being created and, this is the important part, the speed at which it has to be processed. Think about the stock market, where trades are happening in tiny fractions of a second, or how a social media trend can just explode in real time. That data is only useful if you can act on it right now. And finally, there's variety. And this one might be the most fascinating of the 3. You know, back in the day, most data was neat and organized. It fit perfectly into spreadsheets. But today, most of the data we create is totally unstructured. We're talking about photos, videos, emails, social media posts, all this messy human stuff. Big data systems have to use powerful things like machine learning to make sense of all these different formats at the same time.
So, okay, that's the theory. Volume, velocity, and variety. But this isn't some abstract, techie concept. It is already completely woven into the fabric of your daily life in ways you might not even realize.
You know, every single time Netflix suggests a movie it just knows you're going to love, that's big data, analyzing the viewing habits of millions of people. When your map app cleverly reroutes you around a traffic jam, that's big data, processing location data from thousands of phones in real time. From the ads that seem to follow you around the internet, to huge breakthroughs in medical research using DNA, to your bank flagging a sketchy transaction in seconds. All of this is powered by big data. It's not coming, it's already here, shaping everything.
But, and this is a big but, this incredible power doesn't come without some major complications. For all of its amazing potential, big data also brings some really serious challenges to the table. It's a classic double-edged sword. This brings us to a really fundamental trade-off. On one side, you have the promise, the potential for mind-blowing scientific breakthroughs for a world that's more efficient than ever before. But on the other side, there's the peril, huge concerns about our privacy, and the very real risk of bias being baked into the algorithms that run our lives. We get these amazing, personalized experiences, but that comes with the serious risk of our data getting into the wrong hands if it isn't kept perfectly secure.
And that leaves us with a massive question for our future. The challenge isn't just about processing more data, faster, anymore. It's about how we navigate these trade-offs wisely. So as we wrap up, I'll leave you with this to chew on. Is all this data actually making our lives genuinely better? Or is it just making us easier to predict? Answering that question is going to define the next chapter of our digital world.